at least the tournament may have informed them about a little bit of metagaming perhaps, so you can see already trying to make some changes.
One thing I will say is that as soon as the Echo ban came out, the Maokai was a great ban, because Maokai deals pretty well with the split pushes at the moment, especially if you prioritize QSS against things like Trundle, whereas Echo is the one thing that can keep him down. So I like the fact that Chief's getting rid of that, because they do struggle with it historically, but heads up play out of INTZ, obviously doing their research here, banning away the Maokai. Wonder if Kalista will be the last ban we've seen. We've seen a lot of bans on the red side of Kalista, as well as sometimes on the blue side versus Radiant. It is by far his best champions, but they have left it up.
Yep, they actually leave it up because they banned the Ryze as the last one. Swiffer had a good-looking Ryze game, tried to make some big plays there versus Supermassive. Obviously not enough to pick it up there, but Graves will actually be the first pick, so already the tournament's starting to adapt here. Kindred and Italy banned away. Graves seems to be the next best jungler.
Yeah, 100% is the case. Revolta still has a deep champion pool to go towards. His Gragas is good, his Lee Sin is great, so I do like the fact that he's hovering that right now, showing that he pretty much isn't intimidated by having 2 target bans thrown his way.
Not at all. You have to think a lot of those bans unfortunately also hurt Spooks, because he is a big Kindred and Italy player as well. We saw, I think, both those champions from him yesterday. So obviously changing it up here with the Graves, who does seem to be maybe the most consistent first pick jungler you can make. But again, options here certainly for INTZ. We'll see what they want for their first 2 picks here. About 20 seconds left to lock him in.
And once again, more than aware that Graves is also a good top laner right now, but it just isn't the style that Swiper likes to play. So we are expecting that 100% to be in the jungle. Good thing about Graves jungle, after Warrior you can go things like Sterix, you know, more Malmortius. You are tanky enough, but you also do a truckload of damage. And there it is, Gragas, probably a top laner, potentially, but also has the ability to go into jungle. And as I said, Revolta has shown that he's pretty good on it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, we've got the Lucian picked up there for Macau, which does deny that away from Radiant. I mean, they might want to take Kalista anyway, but Lucian's not a bad blocker pick to that. And Gragas, always great with the flexibility. Feels like if Maokai especially is banned away, Gragas is sort of that fighter tank. Not quite Echoes, not quite Poppy, but does bring a lot of similar things to the table. And we've seen, if you need to catch people and try and pick up the tempo of a game, Gragas is probably the best champion to do that.
Not only that, if they're a control mage player like Swiffer pretty much is exclusively gone back to at the moment, Gragas is a great denial pick because it pops him out from underneath that mid lane turret. So it stops some of that straight line wave clear out of the likes of Victor and Azir that we've seen so much, even the Varus that we have seen, so be interesting there. I want to touch on the Lucian. In my opinion, like hands down the best AD carry at the moment, just because of the denial pick away from Sivir, who's banned this game, and Kalista, as you mentioned. It is such a bully in lane. You can pair it up with anything from a Bard, a Braum Alistar, to even a Bard to become a very heavy bully 2v2 lane. And Macau's already shown that he has pretty high proficiency on the champion.
Certainly has. It's been probably the best looking AD carry and the most popular in this tournament so far. It's Poppy and Alistar actually locked in, so looks like Swiper might be taking that into the top lane with Ejim going back to the Alistar. I'm surprised we didn't see this yesterday, but it's a champion that he initially showed up on in the Wildcard tournament back when he was on the Legacy. Now, of course, on the Chiefs. Be curious to see if, how he can get done on the alley, because his performance yesterday, he's a big playmaker and engaged tool for the team. Now he's on a champion that he's very comfortable with.
Yeah, Ejim, alley god, you know, people will have flashbacks to that from 2014 when he broke into the international stage. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this, because it looks like potentially a lane swap will have to come out. I like INTZ's mental game right now. They're showing that, you know, there are 3 junglers left that Revolta can still play. Not intimidated whatsoever. And Braum Lucian, if that is the lock-in, especially with an Elise, is such a good bully lane. I expect Chiefs have to lane swap now.
I think maybe they do, as Elise and Braum are those picks. Braum, still one of the best, if not the best support that's lying around. No Bard, which is excellent into Alistar as well.
Bench.
Oh, disappointing.
Shattered.
Wasn't even banned this game. But Braum, still a pretty good aggressive support as well. Definitely, I think Macau and Jockster can show up there in the 2v2, so I think you're right in suspecting a potential lane swap here. Chiefs, though, do need to round up this draft. Big questions for Swiffer. What does he want to play here in this matchup?
Big questions whether they go back to the Ashe. Radiant has shown that utility is the name of the game. I mean, Kalista is available, and Kalista Alistar, the Kalista lane, is fantastic. You know, good initiation throughout the latter stages, but very low mobility out of a couple of members here means that Ashe might be a good pick, but they go away from it. They're playing a lot of double teleport at the moment, the Chiefs, and Lissandra, good pick up for that. Yep,
Lissandra's honestly been a pick of this tournament in a lot of different ways, because Lissandra, Kalista are those picks. It feels like back to basics, honestly, for the Chiefs. They've got one game to play here. They don't want to do anything too fancy. They've tried to take away some key threats, and you're like, you know what? Give us the straightforward champions. This is a very A to B composition, right? Find a target, pick them off, kill them.
Great flanking composition as well. Double teleport, you know, they can get into any lane. Poppy delivers as soon as she teleports. Lissandra delivers as soon as she teleports. This isn't something like a gangplank that needs setup time. They just arrive and lay down damage. So you look at the Chiefs lineup right now and you understand exactly what their win condition is. Great initiation, a lot of damage out of the jungle and AD carry position. That's what we're seeing more and more, as well as the potential for Swiffer to just shove out his lane and disappear into Fog of War. If you watched the Chiefs versus Supermassive game, sorry, I nearly said that, a different organization, versus Supermassive, Naru did it fantastically. Radiant was happy feeding around the map in side lane so much because he never knew where Naru was, and he just caught him out of position time and time again. So potentially something that Chiefs has looked at from day one, said we can capitalize on this, we can also play a similar playstyle, let's go back to that teleport play.
We've seen a lot of double teleport versus cleanse effectively, or cleanse teleport as sort of your solo lane summoner matchup. Corki's actually the last pick here, and of course into Lissandra, you are pretty much required to take cleanse. Teleport's not great on Corki anyway. I feel like with Elise, they probably wanted an additional carry threat. They'll give Tokas more of a damage-dealing champion. Corki's still good, even though he dropped off a bit, but you can already see kind of how these comps work against each other.
Yeah, completely agree. The one thing about Corki that you have to always keep in mind is that double teleport great up at setting around neutrals, but because of the timing of the package, Corki's also quite good at setting up around these objectives. So INTZ not taking a teleport, but at least taking a long-range initiation / disengage tool that the package does provide on the Corki, and he does a truckload of damage on like 1 to 5 items. Corki is kind of that guy that he spikes at one item and then just gets better as the game goes on. And I think this is an interesting composition put together from INTZ. It shows that they are a very confident team because it has a lot of kite back as well as re-engage potential, especially out of Gragas and Braum, as well as having hidden initiation in there, but also great vision control. You think about Elise, she's a good catch jungler versus what is a very brute force composition out of the Chiefs. So it is going to be a conflicting style here.
Yeah, a bit more navigate the Ezreal very well yesterday. Just, again, super solid, consistent, and generally aggressive, which is what you want out of your AD carry. But here we are onto the riff for today's first game. Oceania is the Chiefs versus the Brazilians, INTZ. Both of these teams will have had mixed results yesterday. I think both of them obviously would love to be 2-0 like any team would be. But, of course, they only get to play each other once here in the round robin. We'll see who's going to take it here for the point. Because it could be tough here for both sides. The Chiefs looking for that first win. INTZ looking for their second after a disappointing loss yesterday to Hard Random.
Yeah, exactly right. We saw it briefly on your screen, a little bit of a 5-man fan out. So it looks like it will be potentially standard lanes. I mean, there could be a blind swap away from the Chiefs, but with how quickly they do the Krugs, they might just look to get into the lane early and see if they can shove out.
Seen a lot of that, actually. No one really wants to get in and invade for deep vision. Have seen actually a pretty good mix of lane swaps and standard lanes.
So it's just risk-reward right now. It's so easy to take a camp and start with your top lane. A top laner loses nothing. Junglers jungle so safely on the current patch. As we're playing Slides Show League of Legends. So as we see the breakdown, see that they both are starting camps, and Macau and Jockster are going to be able to take away the big toad, whilst Radiant and Egypt do take away the Stone Brothers down there in the bottom lane.
And we are actually going to get a 2v2 by the looks of things. So excited to see how that works out. Level 2 all-ins are a Radiant Egypt specialty. They love going aggressive. I believe Egypt brought a lot of that to their lanes when he first joined the team and made Raider a bit more of an aggressive player. Since then, I think he has actually stepped into being a more rounded player. Despite his domestic results, he was always known as the safe guy that would play back. I think he's got a little bit more pep in his step. But I would like to see some of that flair come out here internationally, because every time he comes out internationally, it feels like Raider just doesn't quite play the way he knows he can.
Yeah, completely agree. Swiper gets chunked out top lane.
Oof,
That's how
rough.
Does that happen level 1?
Big W to the face.
Yeah, W
Keg
or
'em.
maybe even an E, like a little bit of a belly bop. Get some auto attacks in there. You can, of course, auto attack E, auto attack for a pretty unanswerable trade there, but we'll be all right. Did start corrupting potion, and we see that junglers just starting both top side of the map. It's nothing really new here. They will clash on the bottom, probably over a Rift Scuttle or something like that. See whether we get a half clear out of the Elise, however, and some early pressure. One of the junglers that can gank at level 3 with red buff, quite effectively actually, and Revolta is known for that aggressive playstyle.
Would love to see a bit of aggression,
Just
and here it
goes for
is.
a bait.
Oh, Cocoon's in there. Revolta jumps straight in with the venomous bite, and that looks like bad news for Spooks.
Oh, wow. I'm from Australia. We have spiders everywhere, and even that was terrifying to me. You know, the big spider walking into your jungler, he does get his red buff. Fight on.
Could be all right, though, but the fight's still breaking out. Revolta gets him very low, and Spooks still has the sums up. Does have to flash, gets out safely, but that's a huge chunk of damage.
Yeah, it certainly is, and all of a sudden, Radius being cut off at the pass as well, so See whether this influences bottom lanes. Joxter spotted out by a good ward from Ejim.
Very cheeky from Revolta. I like that. Throwing another cocoon just in case as Ejim's in. Here we go. Onto Macau. Good amount of damage, but a nice little trade back from Joxter. I noticed Ejim had the Ignite as well, so he's looking to get nice and aggressive there in the bottom lane.
Yeah, certainly is. And Revolta with an early invade secures a slight advantage for his team there. The flash on Graves means that ganks will be a little bit less potent. The other thing about not having flash on a jungler like Graves, because he doesn't have CC, means that you have to be very conscious of counter ganks. Because if you ever dash in, you ever, blow the smoke screen early to try and use it as a slow, you just have to be aware that there is the potential for that to be turned around as, wow, very early recall out of Swiffer. He's cognizant of the Elise as well. Goes back, picks himself up a pink ward and an extra Doran's ring. Doesn't want to be bullied out of the mid lane.
I like that that's more of a jungle choice as well than the lane matchup, but should help there with the double Dorans. Ruby Crystal, longsword for the other side. Tokkers does make sure he gets a buy-in, so he able to match that effectively. Keeping up in CS as well, so it seems that those recall timings were all on point. And Spook seems like he's still jungling pretty happily, so wasn't too impaired by Revolta getting in early and getting aggressive. So didn't die, obviously that's the important one, but we'll see how it develops as potential re-invades from Revolta, or even gank pressure like you mentioned, could cause problems without the summoner there for the jungler.
Yeah, exactly right. This is going to be now probably I was going to say a lull as the supports walk up and smack each other.
No need for that. It's just a bit of aggression there. Again, Radio Ejim loves to play aggressive with this lane, but Macau sneaks in a good amount of poke, and Ejim's back in. Has exhausted in there. Sorry, ignited.
Here comes
Spooks is also around, trying to gank for this lane. Macau does have to flash out of the way, but Swiffer's down here as well. Macau is going to go down as first blood to the Chiefs.
So one of the criticisms of Swiffer was you cannot passively lose your lane. You have to get out and help your side laners because they are struggling right now. Level 5 roam out of the Lissandra. I don't think anyone would expect that, but able to pull it off, gets a good first blood for his team.
And you can see the change in Swiffer. He was a proactive player yesterday, but on the rise, he actually played Rise into Lissandra yesterday versus Supermassive. And all you can really do is, he went aggressive as soon as he could to try and make something happen. Almost got himself a few kills, did get some pressure down. But that's it, right? That's Rise's ult. That's everything blown in that lane. In Lissandra, much more ability to affect the map, like we saw from Nara yesterday. You mentioned this before. It seems like Swiffer has taken that page out of the book.
It's not even that. It's because he was ahead, kind of. Like, he was pretty good in CS, and when you're against the Lissandra as Rise, obviously you're going to scale better, but they lost control of vision, and you can never follow Lissandra into Fog of War, because if her jungler is there, if anyone else is there, she has the amount of CC to be able to lock you down. So he was kind of confined to that mid lane, and he took Cleanse because of the matchup. Whereas this time, he's the one with the teleport. He's the one that has the advantages. He disappears into Fog of War. It's going to mean good things, and you saw that already at the start of this game. 5 down in CS, but First Blood is a pretty massive advantage. And everywhere right now, Chiefs look like they're starting to fire, except for that top lane maybe. Yang still naturally 10 CS advantage, and that's going to start hurting.
Yeah, continue to be impressed by Yang as Swift. He's actually taking some damage here in mid. Tokkers, really good little bit of poke, and Revolta was just off to the side as well. So Chiefs very aware that there's potential issues, although Spooks and Revolta are going to have a clash. Revolta finished taking that camp away, though. Swiffer just has to juke out of the way here. Tokkers, beautiful missile.
Tokkers is nailing Swiffer with everything right now. That's going to be a little bit of farm missed out on. They did start top side of the map, so it shouldn't cost them a red buff because Swiffer could be back in time. Now some visit from Revolta into the bottom lane. We expected him to maybe be down here a little bit more than what he has.
Takes the Chiefs Raptors though, clears out their wards, so
look how confident they are in their top lane. Yang, 0 ward control. I mean, he's got 1 pink in his try, but everything else, top side of the map dark. Still willing to push up, goes for an early aggressive shop in a Sheen. He's super pumped up, thinking he's playing really well. Bottom side of the map, where the aggression has been seen, they deep ward the jungle. Right now, there is no gank path for Lissandra down there. And that means that Macau, as well as Joxter, able to play a little bit further up. So Revolta doing a good job of securing vision for his team and ensuring that nothing can really go wrong on the map.
Yeah, you can see the exchange there for INTZ after that first blood. 3 wards, few of which have just dropped actually, were there to try and spot Swiffer's next gank path. TP's back up, so he can maybe get aggressive if he feels like it with the summoner spell, but Spook's actually taken some of the jungle away now. He's level 6 to Revolta's 5. big spike there for the Graves, but if he's getting tracked in the jungle here, this could be problematic.
Yeah, certainly could. He hasn't got a ward either. Pulls it down nicely, so that is important to note, but it's level 6 versus level 5.
No
so Spook should have the advantage here.
No smite though. Oh, he came up a little late. Does get in, trying to steal it away. Will get a few little ones there. But Yang's actually down here. Spook's a little too much perhaps. He's going to get bopped up. Does have to flash out of the way, but Yang's going to multi 2 of them in. Does ulti his way out to safety. Swiper going to kick one out, but Revolta just takes out Spooks. And now Swiper's battling.
Swiffer.
Swiffer going to try and make a play, but he's being chased by Tokkers. Oh, he ults himself, but Yang's already over the wall trying to get aggressive on him. And Swiffer now caught between 3 members of INTZ. That'll be Tokkers swooping in for a kill of his own.
So you can see the thought process out of the Chiefs, but unfortunately, idea is correct. Execution is once again horrible because he ults himself, does not get the top laner. There's no follow-up damage, and Spooks just died too quickly. It's a little bit of a nightmare right now. It's level 6 versus level 5 in the bottom lane, but still, the power of Lucian means that they're able to sustain up through this one. And the Chiefs, after an early gold lead, throw a little bit of it away.
Yeah, those little trades do not favor the Kalista in that particular lane. But looking good there, regardless as Radiant. I'm sure we'll be able to keep the farm up there in that lane. Spooks now just going to chunk out this jungle.
And it's a little bit of a confusing, aggressive invade because he should have gone for the invade, don't get me wrong. But once it went awry, he shouldn't have stuck around for the Spiderling. Should have straight away disappeared over the wall because he is leading in CS by such a large margin. This is an advantage that the Chiefs should be able to have. So, interesting to say the least that the Chiefs are willing to throw that much. Also very interesting that Swiffer goes double ring into Catalyst. Not the most aggressive build from what we've seen. His playstyle is very aggressive, but the build isn't.
Yeah, Rod of Ages, I assume is that item, but
Here
usually
comes
it's the Abyssal here in this spot.
Play.
Oh, Revolta flashes in, Tokkers in with the package. Swiffer gonna have to ult himself, but I don't think he has it. Claws out of the way. Does not have the ulti, but Tokkers is in there. Flash Valks away, and that's a second.
Yeah, fantastic play out of Revolta. We said this guy can be aggressive. Reads it beautifully. Tokkers with the package, able to clean up that kill. And they've recognized straight away that Swiffer is all of the playmaking of the Chiefs. He's the only one getting around the map, so what do? We shut him down.
And once again, in those lanes, Chiefs are going to struggle early as INTZ are putting on the pressure in every spot. This tower might even die with Jockster rotating in, but Egypt's going to make a play. Revolta blown away by Spooks from the collateral damage.
Here comes a teleport out of the Poppy.
That Swiper going to look to tie up the Corki. That pops up the W and needs a wall to slam him into. But Tokkers, he'll wait it out. And now the TP counter is going to come in from INTZ. Yang's here. Big ulti there as Egypt actually going to move back in. Doesn't have the headbutt for Yang, but he's getting low. Exhaust is down, but I think it's too late. Swiper is able to pick up that one onto the Gragas. The Chiefs starting to get aggressive.
And this time it is INTZ with a little bit of over-aggression. They go in on what they thought would be a 3v3. However, teleports in underneath a turret, and that's a disaster against an Alistar Poppy. Both of them have displacements. Yang made to play, probably the first bad play we've seen out of the top lane all tournament long. This is signs of life right now for the Chiefs.
Certainly is, but I love to see the aggression from both sides here. Everyone's answering back, and I think after day one, everyone's warmed up and punches are no longer getting pulled. Raider is struggling a bit here in the bottom side, but should be okay as Ejim will return to help him clean up this wave. Good timing there on that transition back to the bottom lane, but Macau and Jockster laying into them, culling down. Ejim, no ulti after using it in the mid lane exchange. There's potential issues here in the bottom lane if Revolta comes visiting. Yeah,
exactly right, but Revolta topside right now, so not much of a worry. Actually, Radier getting a pretty good laning phase right now because of Spooks' early gank. We already said that Lucian and Braum should be a bully, being even on CS. Great news right now for the Kalista, whose laning phase did get hit a little bit because we altered the early power. Still has a 2-item spike, and it is going to be Borg first up. The Spooks scouts out a ward that Revolta replaced nice and deep in that jungle. Tokkers is a real problem, however, right now. He's 100 CS, farming pretty well, 2 kills, going to have about a 14-minute Trinity for Shufiel, and that's a great early spike.
Swiper, though, catching up nicely after a bit of a tricky start to the lane. Looks like he's relatively tanky early on, but Yang's actually rushing that Iceborne Gauntlet, maybe changing tactics a little bit. Oh, looks for the blue steel, not going to land it. But, you know, Graves likes to use his ulti whenever he can. Not bad there from Spooks.
Yeah, exactly right. So Tokkers, he grabs the blue buff for himself. A lot of damage on that mid lane turret. We'll see if he can continue to push up into the Lissandra. Swiffer is struggling a little bit now because he has been out and about a lot. But you know what? Respect the playstyle out of the Chiefs mid laner because he recognized that, you know, if you're going to lose a game, at least be the one to lose it for the team, being the captain. As Revolta is down here on top of a pink ward.
Oh, very good setup here for INTZ, looking to try and 2v2 this one out.
So what they're doing is they're using Lucian as bait because Braum can jump on top of him. So Dangle the Lucian out there. Braun can jump in, put up the Unbreakable, use the ultimate. Revolta being patient here. However, EGM and Radiant, they know something's up. They sniff it out a mile away.
Not going to buy it. And Revolta's actually going to hit the recall. Radiant and EGM will actually recall out of vision as well. I can see that INTZ are holding that lane, so pretty safe to just chill out. Looks like they are going to get some shots in. That's Blade
shot,
finished.
Actually, Bork finished. So, especially if this doesn't get shoved all that hard and he's able to grab the cannon creep, because cannons don't die to turrets very quickly. It's going to be a pretty good news story for the Chiefs. In fact, the other creep wave will even beat it there. So, I think a little bit of a mistake out of Macau and Jockster.
Just too cute, almost.
Greedy, honestly.
Yeah, very greedy. And perhaps punished here, as they're not going to get a shot, and they might even get all in as they return back, although EGM's going for a roam instead.
Yeah, he wants a mid lane. You can see that Tockers wants to buy, playing towards the top side of the map. Actually, he just did buy. I missed the Trinity Force pickup, so it was 14 minutes, pretty much bang on. And that is huge.
We'll have this instead. EGM and Spook's looking for Revolta. Spook's going to find him. Going to start shooting Revolta. Good smite there onto the Wolves. That should spot EGM out as well. But the bottom lane's already back for INTZ. It's an Essence Reaver now done for Macau. So first initial items completed for these ADs as Swiper and Yang still going at it. Yang steps on his chocolate bar. Swiper still getting aggressed on here, but keeping up the CS nicely.
Yeah, so you can see the difference in the top lane builds right now. Yang going for the aggressive build means that he's able to stay on top of it, but needs to be careful because he is very squishy, especially against Swiper and Swiffer. Poppy does a little bit of magic damage in there that you have to be aware of. Whereas Swiper more than happy to just go for the scaling defensive build that we've seen so much. Good invade here out of Revolta and Jockster.
Get themselves a pink wall for their trouble. Spook's still going to answer back for a ward. No, he doesn't get the last auto. Ficklegrave shotgun. Not enough bullets there.
They do re-pink it though, so once again, trying to kick Revolta out of the jungle. He is 14 CS up right now, Spook, so a much better jungle performance than what he was having day one. And you have to say that the Chiefs overall, early game, looks to have shored itself up a little bit. Yep. Early couple of mistakes, but fighting back nicely in that mid lane play.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's good to see both these teams in different ways back on more of a proactive style. Though Swiper getting aggressed on does grasp back some health there from Yang, but you can see the pressure from the Gragas. Game's pretty even right now, 15.5 minutes in. Gold lead sitting pretty much even.
But
Swiffer also finished the
still
roll,
getting
but yeah.
bullied, and that's a problem. This is an ongoing issue right now with the Chiefs, and they need to find a pick that Swiper can shore up the lane a little bit because he's got a kill. He has the advantage, but hasn't been able to really utilize it. Big push coming into the mid lane right now out of Macau, Revolta, and Jockster. They recognize that the turret is low already, and they're going to be able to pick it up, it looks like.
Yep, everyone but Yang who can TP in if he needs to. Chiefs not here to respond this time, although maybe trying to move in. Swiffer actually taking too much damage. Forced to ult himself, but the Brawl multi is actually going to be a little bit mistimed, and now they're going to turn it back around. Oh, EGM, he's missed the combo, and that's would have been a kill onto Jockster. INTZ though a little low, but Swiper flashes in and smashes Macau into the wall. Here's Radiant now. Does flash in for it. Going to go aggressive and try and take out Macau. Does pull the spears out, and Spooks is able to get the kill, and Tockers barely misses the one onto Spooks.
But here we go. All of a sudden, the dive coming in as well. Chiefs look reinvigorated after a good night's sleep. Now they'll be the one pushing in on the mid lane. Tockers is a little bit too healthy, so an advantageous trade for INTZ. Very close on the cusp of that team fight. Spooks nearly fell down as well. Swiffer also very close to dying. But signs of life from both teams. 300 gold the lead. First major objective going over to the Brazilian squad.
Yep, they take that tower in the mid lane, and they might get the dragon out of it as well. So the Chiefs looking for the fights, but not quite converting into objectives. That was a close one, as Tockers almost robbed of a double that he did not get to pick up here. The Chiefs will take the kill lead, but INTZ will hold on to these objectives. Dragon's going to reset just a touch.
One thing I will say is that EGM probably a little bit gun-shy there. Had double summoner spells and ulti available. Could have gone onto Jockster instead of Tockers in the mid lane. Probably look for the Braum kill, which would have been a lot more pressure. Tockers had cleanse as well as flash available, so you're not realistically killing the Corki at that point. As this is cute, getting there early as a jungler. Actually pinging him out.
Yeah, instant pings there. Good vision from INTZ. Know exactly what's up there.
But Swiper also with the flash wallbang. Aggressive play, honestly, out of the Chiefs, and that's what we wanted to see. Sure, losing games, that's fine. Losing games passively, bad. Not, especially for a region like Oceania where fighting is key. Chiefs are a little bit more of that cerebral team, but we have a lot of fighting teams over here.
You know what? Sometimes it's good to just come down to, you know, level 1. Don't worry about level 5 too much. It's too high up. Just come back down and start playing some scrappy League of Legends, because the Chiefs, again, They weren't always a cerebral team, Spawn, let me tell you.
Yeah, credit to INTZ. They're more than happy to come down to the level as well. They've taken the gloves off, willing to get nice and dirty, and it's a fun game to watch so far.
See how it shakes out though, because big buy starting to come through again. Zeal up for Radio. Ejim in there onto the bottom lane. Jockstar going to get poked in, but Ejim actually has to ulti. Does burn it.
But all of a sudden, a lot of spears in, and here comes Graves.
Yeah, Blade in, but Radio now going to get gressed on Macau.
Talkers.
There's the stun in there. Heal's good, but Spooks is down here. Talkers though is going to be the difference. And now Revolta's down as well. INTZ with a great rotation. Double TP's coming in everywhere. Swift is actually the first one in. He's going to take out Jockstar, able to get a kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade actually, Radio, for the support on INTZ.
Certainly is, but what can they get from here? Spook's a little bit caught out. Yang looking for the cast, actually already used, so not much going to happen there, and it's going to be a dive, so they force him off the turret. Objective number 2 goes down for INTZ, and you can see that even though the brute force is there for the Chiefs, the macro play is a little bit better from the CBLOL team.
Yeah, great counter gank there in the bottom side, pretty much neutralizing the trade. And then we'll take the tower for it. We'll see if Swiper can equalize, but regardless, even if he does, INTZ up a key tower with the mid lane already down. Swiper is going to get close here on this one. Might need another wave.
Yeah, it does, and he's not going to be able to have time for it because Yang and Jockstar heading up there, so see whether he sticks around. He is. He's sticking at it. He will get the turret, so that's a heads-up play out of the Chiefs top laner. Now probably has to run for the hills.
Yeah, he doesn't know the support's here, but he's going to spot Yang. Yang with a flash ready in there, but the slow's going to land from the Q after body slam.
Doesn't even need it.
Bushes. No, there's the cast. That's problems. Swiper going to try and dash away. Chocolate, Star far out of reach.
Oh, here's Spooks actually, and Swiffer.
This could be the turnaround. Swiper actually living for quite a long time. The Rift Herald, though, let's go back home. Never mind, he's not gone. Swiffer going to get exhausted. Now Spook's going to move in for it. But Ultimate's not quite there, and Talkers and Revolta are making their way in. Spooks has to be careful. He's going to get bopped in there as the Q will land in from Jockstar, but Spooks ultis out for a little bit of distance and makes it back to the turret.
But is this going to be another turret? Because if it is, it's once again INTZ out-rotating the Chiefs for objective play, and Talker's going to find Radius.
Yeah, Radius absolutely dead there. The missile's in, pretty much 3 shots him through the rotation. They were trying to reinforce the top side, but that's how it goes to INTZ, and Talkers gets his 4th straight kill.
Lazy play from Radier there, rotating through the jungle, walk the long way around. It's one of the basic rules of League of Legends. If your team is lower, they have control of your jungle. No summoner spells available. The mid laner had both, so honestly, he was well and truly going to pick up that kill regardless of any fancy outplay that Radier thought he had in mind.
Unfortunately, maybe greedy for the top lane kills that he could have seen, but doesn't get it. ITZ continue getting advantages here. 3-1 up in turrets, about 2,000 gold up as the kills are equal, and that dragon that they've got for themselves as well.
So one piece of good news is that Talkers is a lot of the gold, and they have a lot of ways to get rid of one member. I mean, you look at Poppy, Flash Wallbang, then Cleanse comes out, all of a sudden Lysandra flies in there, Alistar's in there as well, collateral damage comes over the top. So the fact that there is one fed member on INTZ is probably the best news story Chiefs can have if they fall behind. In saying that, we just saw how good this guy is on Corki. The ability to spell weave, his missiles have been on point all game long. So it's a little bit of a worry, depending on which side of the fence you're sitting. Of course, INTZ fans sitting at home smiling right now.
Well, Talker's certainly looking very threatening, and you said this already. Corki's power increases pretty much exponentially. So as he gets strong, as he gets more items, he is going to get stronger.
Well, let's have a look at it. It's like, all right, Trinity Force, that's a huge deal. As Swiper actually getting collapsed on by a lot of members one more time. We've seen this one before, however.
Issues perhaps, does dash away to Yang. That's very creative. Jock's going to get blocked in there, but Swiper is just going to get stunned up by the Brawn passive.
Where are you going, buddy?
Oh, Keg in there, dashes back in, doesn't quite get the stun in, but Grasp the Undying's good. Great Poppy ulti, that'll be the disengage.
But all of a sudden...
Oh, Revolta. Oh, we're right.
Yeah, we're good. All right.
This catches the last one.
Also looked like Jockster was a little bit caught out of position. That's the first missile I've seen Talkers miss in a good 5 minutes.
Doesn't miss many, certainly.
No.
Is Ejim looking for something here, but he's going to trail Spooks as they'll rotate back towards that mid lane and try and move that lane that's been pushed down aggressively by the Corki.
And once again, vision control just seems to be on point out of INTZ. It's something that I've complimented them for in the pre-game, and certainly no difference this time around. Look at how they've controlled both sides of the jungle. Chiefs have got deep wards in INTZ's jungle. You almost wonder why at this point of the game, because they're not going in there all that much phase through time, so maybe look to consolidate vision a little bit more.
Pressure here in mid, though, is not bad. Yangno with the TP ready. Swiper also going to get in there, but Ejim just wants it. Goes straight in onto Joxer. Swiver's going to dive in, and the Chiefs with a tower dive will get one. Revolta looking to go down, and Spooks will get it as well. And Tokas just can't believe it. His team dies straight in front of him.
Yeah, right before my eyes. As the teleport actually coming out now from the Gragas. This is a big play, but Yang.
I'm not sure about this one, but he's going to go in for Spooks. Macau's here as well. Looked brilliant, actually, as Yang. He's able to get that one, but Macau's going to get chased down and absolutely wrecked as Swift is able to take that one. Raider kiting around the Dragon, dodges the first missile but can't get out from Yang, and the Dragon's now getting involved as well. Yang is going to go down as the Chiefs collapse. Swiper able to TP in.
Huge team fight, 4 for 2, but Tokas is still there and he can clean it up.
Oh no, Swiper with a good ult, he's going to kick him out. And that actually was necessary. He could see the triple.
Yeah, 100%. Toka's eyes lit up when he saw the Chiefs members there. Swiper a little bit late on the teleport. Yang once again a little bit overzealous. But INTZ, once again, Chiefs win a team fight. INTZ, they're completely fine with it because they're still up in gold. They're going to take the objective. Chiefs need to start being able to transition all these kills into something positive for the team. Sure, they scale pretty well, but when you look across the board and you see the likes of Gragas, Corki, as well as the Lucian, eventually they will become an unstoppable force.
I mean, the gold is pretty close, but that's probably the good news here is INTZ is still up in towers and dragons.
It's touching distance, right?
Yeah.
The good news is that Chiefs ever do get that team fight because they are winning team fights. The longer the game goes, you win a team fight at 20 minutes, doesn't mean that much. You win one at 30 minutes, all of a sudden you're opening up the map. So I'm just waiting on them to win that one decisive team fight where they can actually transition it into the objectives as,
Spook's actually getting aggressive. Cocoon's not going to hit. Radius here as well. That's going to force the flash out. Runa's Hurricane done for Callisto, as you can see. 2 items pretty much done for everyone, honestly, on the map.
You see the advantage of the double teleport comp as well. All of a sudden, Swiffer has teleport.
Macau, that's not the right spot to be standing. Swiper able to get a good stun in, but Spooks can't quite follow in for the damage. Joxter's going to block it, but Ejim, he's straight into the front line. Joxter is going to go down as Swiffer fighting someone in the bottom side. He wants the tower, but he's not going to live to tell the tale. Does ulti himself up here, but I'm not sure he can get away from Yang. Might just try and take the tower with him. Grassy Undyne's going to proc. He's actually going to get the tower, but Swiffer, I think he's still going to go down. He will to the queue.
So he trades his life for a turret. Not a bad trade, especially because Chiefs were able to cross-map, but a little bit confusing out of the mid laner of the Chiefs. The idea is with Lissandra, you don't duel the top laner, you create pressure on a turret, then you teleport away. Swift seems to have missed that memo of League of Legends and just decided to, I don't know, thought he was Trundle. That's the easiest way I'm going to describe it. He ignored the Gragas and just took the turret around him. It was an interesting tactic, did not pay off.
I'll call it reasonably effective. How about that? Let's get an objective out of it.
We're going to give that one a solid 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, he executed on his game plan, so credit. I don't know if it was the right game plan, Pastry Time.
Maybe not. And Yang, actually 3 kills now, so looking pretty strong here on the Gragas with 2 items. Infinity Edge also done for Tokas is big news, although Swiffer does pick up his needlessly large rod, so starting to really stack up that AP.
Yeah.
Not going to kill Yang, but could kill someone else.
No one's killing Yang right now. You can see that kind of the holy trinity of items for top lane bruisers is about to come in. But you have to say the same for the Poppy right now. So that's a good news story. You can see more also finished up for Graves, which is big news because Tokas, Revolta, and Yang do fair amounts of magic damage at this stage of the game at least. Love Revolta's item build, by the way. Yep. Just showing that he's nice and aggressive. He's going to go for the Dead Man's Plate afterwards, so full bruiser, Elise. Dead Man's Plate in spider form just makes you incredibly quick, and as soon as you get that venomous bite down, the slow afterwards is kind of brutal. So, of course, going to have all that momentum, as it's called. And an interesting game so far is eventuating on Summoner's Rift. It's only 900 gold at 26 minutes.
Very close here, but as we are getting into this one, 18 kills has been pretty fun, if nothing else. And Swiper definitely able to apply a bit more pressure here on the Poppy.
So I like this a little bit more. He's gone for distortion boots quite early. The reason that's important is we just saw that Swiffer, he was like, you know what, mate? I've got to teleport, but I'm not pushing against the Gragas. Send me into the side lane. I'm happy to pick up the farm, who isn't at the moment, but get distortions because every single time your teleport is up, you're against the fat man. I'm not going here.
I don't want it. So they will trade positions there. 2 have, as you said, 1-3-1 potential.
It's more of a just flat-out denial at this point. It's like, I just refuse more than I don't want it.
I am not.
Yeah, I will not.
Figure it out.
He's your problem, mate. See that? It says top lane. That's your lane.
But he's bottom lane. I don't want to hear it. You handle him. I'll go top lane, which is where he is right now.
You can see that Swiper, he's got his tactic well and truly set out. It's hide in the brush.
Yep.
So, you know, just he's fine. He's like, you know what? This is how you do it. You just don't go near him.
You wait for the wave. He's very strong. Oh, he's gone, though. So watch out for the teleport, perhaps. Level 15 as well. Actually, both top laners very high level at this stage. They're actually surprisingly deep into the game.
And I think this is what we expected out of the Chiefs on day one. Unfortunately, didn't get it. But this time around, like, they have to, like, win or lose this game, they have to be much more content with their performance up until 28 minutes into the game. As now Yang's coming across. Does Swiper want him? No, he doesn't.
No. In fact, Yang wants him. Been a very aggressive Gragas launch so far, both today and yesterday.
40% cooldown on Gragas means your W is on very low cooldown. And it's just one of those abilities that puts out the hurt. I think the Chiefs, once again, they haven't really controlled neutrals at all. It's something that we expect out of the team. You know, they're down in Dragons, down in turrets, haven't even looked at a Baron or Rift Herald. So there are some worrying signs. But once again, the fact that it is only really the Corki that is incredibly fed, kind of good news.
Oof, that's brutal. Spooks gets popped there. Swift Race actually going in onto Revolto. Ejim going to combo in as well, and they are going to blow him up there with the ultimate from Spooks. Swiper walks his way around for a flank, and they'll kick Jockster off the turret. They should be able to take it as well.
Oh my god, he's on to Tockers.
They want it, but Swiper, that's a little too much. Now he has to flash as Yang's actually looking to separate them as well. But they are going to go back in. Ejim, huge pole, finds onto the two carries, and Raider's going to take out Jockster. McCowan, Tockers, though, still living as Yang is going to get peeled back in there. But the damage is massive out of the INTZ AD carries. But Raider flashes forward, gets the kill onto Corki, gets the double onto Lucian, going to make it onto Yang as well. A triple kill for Raider, almost nabs the Quadra.
And Swiffer still wants him. They're looking for it. All of a sudden, the Chiefs lineup explode through the mid lane. Another turret dive, and this team is now up 3,000 gold, looking to break the base.
This is the bottom lane we wanted to see from Chiefs on day one. They'll snap through mid, take out the tower, and get the inhib as well. Radio and Ejim have finally found the way to flash forward.
And there's just something about the CB LOL region that inflames Oceania for some reason. INTZ are like, what the heck? This team played on day one and went 0-2. What is the reality?
It's almost like whenever we play the favorites, we just want to beat them more than anyone else. As the Chiefs, they are going to move back in. 4K up now. They break an inhibitor. Game is certainly not over because that's. But they've done kind of the minimum amount of work to put themselves into a winning position.
Yeah, certainly have. And this is kind of what I call the farm inhibitor page through time, because what it does is it forces free farm up the mid lane. But the other thing it does, which is crucial, is creeps are kind of like moving wards. So you extend vision up through the mid lane into the base at times, and that gives you a lot of additional information if you are the Chiefs right now. They've once again deprioritized Dragon. It doesn't seem to be on their radar whatsoever. So they'll give number 3 over, but pick up a lot of side lane farm right now into Radier, onto Swiffer as well, and potentially look to set up around that Baron area, because as I said, that creep wave can be so much important vision control.
Feels like the game is finally an item discrepancy as Swiffer and Tokka's going to do battle. Swiffer will lock him up there. He's going to pop the ulti in as well, and they're actually going to TP down. Swiper going to join in the fight, and now look to chase down. He goes straight in onto Tokka's, should be able to take him out, and does.
He can still keep going here. Swiper is massive, 4-0 and 5 on the Poppy, quietly having a career game, because we said his day one performance, pretty shocking to be brutally honest. Actually looking, finds a support player. Yang is out. Yeah. You are on your own.
He's actually pieced, and Swiper's able to chase. He's got the Iceborne ready. He's going to get the other swipe in. The ulti does not connect. But Swiffer's looking for something on top lane. He wants Macau. Goes in for a Volta instead with a Juke. Ejim's going to move back in, and a great ult from Yang's going to move Swiffer back in. Doesn't have any stasis left, so he is going to die. The Chiefs may have overstayed their welcome. They died between two turrets. Fate's Call still there. It's going to pull Ejim out to safety, though.
Yeah, so good news story there. As in the bottom lane, Jockster is still running around in circles. Well, he doesn't do much damage. You see Swiffer on the player cam, by the way. He is having a giggle right now. And it looks like Jockster is actually going to get away.
Well done, Braum.
Big Swifts not coming for anyone.
To be fair, it was nice to see Swiffer actually fights him in the bottom lane and Swiper complete the teleport.
Yep. That
was a good change. So,
of course, shout out to IWCI where the call was teleported to the bottom lane. It just never came.
And the aggression is definitely there for the Chiefs, all jokes aside. Very decisive play. Swiper playing with much more confidence now on the Poppy at 4-0 and 5.
I don't even care. Look at Ejim, 0-0-13. The alley god is back. This bottom lane, you know, there's something said to give Radier utility. We joke about it a lot, but he definitely is a better utility player than he is an outright carry player. That's why we like him on the likes of Sivir, Kalista, as well as the Ashe. And not so much on the Lucian Vayne kind of carries at the moment. So we'll see if this is a continued trend or whether CB LOL are the first team to make the mistake of giving him Kalista. And they'll pay the price for it.
Well, paying right now because the Chiefs still have a lead in this game, but INTZ doing a good job holding on. There are general reactive
scouting out the top lane Corki. Does he have the package?
Oh, Talkers, that could be a too far forward. Ward getting cleared out here around the Baron area. Inhibitor should be back up soonish for INTZ.
So as I said, not really much gain from that Inhibitor. It's still a 5,000 gold lead, sure, but the Chiefs just funnel a little bit of farm up that mid lane. You can see Merc Scimitar finished up by Mikau. That's going to be a massive item spike for him. By the way, I like double lifesteal builds on the Lucian over something like an Infinity Edge Fur, just because you take further of battle into the bottom lane a lot of the time, and you need lifesteal in there. He's a 500 range 80 carry. It's brutal if you don't have it, especially against something like Lissandra or like a Graves and Poppy. So respect Mikau's build a lot and would like to see him go towards something like either the Maw of Malmortius or even a Bloodthirster for the Overshield.
We'll see what he wants to do, but certainly looking for a fourth item here. So Radio's already got 3 and the QSS to boot. In general, Chiefs have a little bit of an edge on items due to the team fights that they've won, but they do still need to do more work here. And again, INTZ have done a good job controlling general pace, being reactive intelligently and playing the map well.
Chiefs are doing a good job here, however, of clearing vision. What that means is that if they ever disappear into Fog of War, they can be doing Baron or they can't be, and Swiper can tank it, as I said, for days right now. He's got himself another Chain Vest, as well as that Candy Bar to keep him nice and healthy for the unnatural sustain, kind of. They are sending him towards the bottom lane. Would prefer him to stay with the groups, maybe Swiffer to go down to the bottom lane and try and make the deep teleport plays on Lissandra. Is Ejim now caught?
Yeah, we do have to attend to the side waves. Instant ultimates burned, actually. A little bit of miscoordination.
Yeah, both ultimates burnt is a big deal right now. That's not what they were looking for. They needed to keep Ejims and burn Radiers most likely. But that's vision control re-established now for the INTZ lineup, and big deal because this has been something that the Chiefs put a good 2 minutes into trying to establish, and now it's just all gone.
Mid and Hibs back as well, so Chiefs have a way in to an objective, maybe to force a fight over.
Now it becomes a little bit more about Dragon, you feel, because it's number 4 for the CB LoL lineup, and we already know that stacking dragons is quite effective if you get into the latter stages of the game. They can't really start up the Baron anymore because they just don't have vision control. Wow, he's tall.
Yeah. It's a big cow. Elixir of Iron, I assume, is doing the damage there.
So Ejim's gone for... Alright, cool. Ejim talks about it a lot in Oceania, so it's not much of a secret. But Distortion boots, Lucidity with Distortion, as well as a cooldown reduction on some of the spells in the third tree, makes your flash about a 3-minute cooldown. So that's what he's gone with. Flash very crucial to Alistar. Not defensive boots. People will look at that and be like, that's weird. And it is kind of weird, but he is a big advocate of it.
I mean, you've seen the plays he's been making on the alley. Doesn't really surprise me because he is a big playmaker for the team.
When the Chiefs were the one playing the Gragas jungle and Alistar, you would see the Gragas and the Alistar both do it, and they would just flash engage on you all day long. It was kind of oppressive to deal with. Of course, it required gets rid of some of the tanky stats, I guess, that you would expect out of an Alistar, but is quite good.
Kind of a one-out wonder anyway, so we'll see if we can make use of the lowered flash cooldown here. His Dragon is up in 15 seconds. Swiper with a Thorn Mail now.
He's massive.
Yeah, he's a problem. I'm not sure Yang really likes what he sees here.
He does a lot of magic damage though, Yang, so he's not all that fast. It's more that Mikau now looks at the Poppy and is like, I want nothing to do with it. Although Corki now...
Okay, we might have this again. Tokka's actually in, but a good dodge there with the Valk. Swiper actually may need Swiffer's help again. But Tokka's just going to move up as the rest of INTZ are also there. Chiefs not able to cut them off, but a great flash from Swiper might get him out of this.
Nah, still in a lot of trouble.
Slow's going to land in. Graspel proc. Iceborne actually does slow Tokka's for a bit. There's the W from Poppy.
He missed it.
And it could be still problems, but the last rocket is enough. The Chiefs, though, will retake mid.
Yeah, it looks to be the case, but all of a sudden the engage is there. Spooks takes some damage.
Have to be careful. Ejim again. This time they just burn the Fate's Call. And do they turn it around? No, they don't. But Radiant now has to flash out of the way. Will flash the Brawl multi, but Ejim's going to eat it. Swiffer, though, looking to re-engage around the other side.
Yang's behind them.
Blade of the Ruin King activated. Spooks, oh no! That's not the flash he wanted, but Ejim's going to go back in for it. They are going to move in. Jockster getting low. Huge roll there from Swiffer in the choke, and it may have been the play as Revolta still low, getting chased down by Spooks. Now they're turning onto Yang, but Tockers and Macau doing work there as Spooks. His shields will proc, and the Chiefs will have to bail. Very messy.
Macau looking for the mid laner still. Messy teamfight is the right way to describe it, but the Chiefs get the double objectives this time. So an overcommit from INTZ onto the top laner. They will look to also pick up Dragon for the first time here, the Chiefs, which is a huge success story. So triple objective, but Yang is here.
Oh, dangerous stay perhaps. I think they thought they all bailed, but they have not. You can see Spooks looking a little stressed out in the player cam. Rady will get it. Needs to hop over the wall. Very well done, though. Rends him out as well, takes out the Scrying Orb, and the Chiefs steal a Dragon.
Now Baron becomes the objective because they know that 3 members are backing. How quickly can they get over there? What will they lose if they don't? You see that Spooks, he looks stressed. Swiffer, however, oh, eyes of a killer pastry time we call it. Just very, very calm.
Well, 2 TPs up.
Tockers is massive.
Yeah, no, Tockers is the issue.
Like, he is two-shotting people right now, and I cannot speak highly enough of the mid laner of INTZ. Probably overlooked him a little bit in the pre-game in favor of Revolta, who isn't having the best game, although I still like the item build, but Tockers right now, hopes of a nation on the man's shoulders.
Certainly are, and his Corky's shown up all game long here. We're almost 40 minutes into it as well, and it's been a bloody game.
What a great game of League of Legends, though. This is exciting to watch, and INTZ, as well as the Chiefs, certainly stepping up to the plate.
It is nice to see, yep, both teams definitely step up.
And it's still a one-team fight game. I call it that all the time at the moment. As soon as it gets to 40 minutes, throw gold out the window. You know, everyone's kind of got their core items anyway. Just becomes that one-team fight, and whoever wins the one-team fight, if they win it decisively enough, will win the game right now. And it certainly is that kind of game because these teams have been going blow for blow with each other. Execution
is important, to say the least. Swiper, though, still looking to chill out here. Chiefs do have double TP to lean on here. As they look towards the end game, you see Swiffer starting to push out the top side as well. He's going to start something in Chiefs. I think they're still tunneling on the Baron, but Swiper, he will not be stopped. He's got an elixir in his back pocket as well.
He has the teleport. Yang does not, so they can't respond to it. As soon as they do, it's just going to be the trigger pulled on the Baron objective. They're going to see him now. It's hard for Swiper to get into Fog of War and teleport, just because of the nature of Gragas. The Fat Man has so many displacements. But you can see, Swiper not awfully phased by him.
Oh, tried to kick him out to do more damage to the turret.
Yeah, silly play.
Unfortunately, doesn't make it.
Chocolate bar. No, not going to get it. Now he's in trouble.
Yep, going to keep fighting here, but no one else coming. Chiefs maybe can start a 4v4 here, but Yang and Swiper are going to fight to the death.
Kill him.
Yeah, Yang might get the kill if it goes on long enough, and he's got plenty of space to do so. Swiper.
No, he missed another barrel.
Going to try to run. There's the body slam in. Barrel still landing. Chiefs trying to be proactive, though. Calling down. Tower getting aggressed on. They burn one ulti from Macau. Yang and Swiper, by the way, not over. This is the most Dragon Ball Z fights. You know the screen transition where they like keep fighting and then they move over? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yang
and they give it up finally.
People of Earth, give me your strength.
Well, I'm sure the community's behind him in Brazil. That might just be enough, actually.
Here we go. Baron is started up. Yang does have teleport now, however. This is a dangerous call.
All right, time to fight. Perhaps the Chiefs need to pull off the Baron, I think. They are going to stick on it, though. They've got spears inside. This is a big commitment. Swiffer goes in, eats him. Huge pole there, lands into Swiffer. He's going to get straight into there and land the ulti. Jockster, the first to go down as Spooks, able to take him out. Macau gets shredded down as they move in. Revolta goes down as a double kill comes in for Spooks.
They're over chasing here. There's still 2 carries up. Baron should be the call. They want to end the game pastry time.
They ping bottom lane. This is aggressive from the Chiefs. They may try and win the game without the Baron. No safe plays today, Spawn.
No, it certainly does not look to be the case. All of a sudden, there's the Zrot portal.
Oh, no.
Don't know if those little guys are going to do all that much, but second inhib looks to go down. It is the Baron inhib, as Rusty likes to call it. It's going to be the bottom side of the map, and this time they have a huge creep wave. I think this is still dangerous because Yang's a monster, Macau and Tockers still do a lot of damage, but they're going for it.
Yeah, they are going to try for it, but it is dangerous. Supers are going to run out there, but the first tower will go down. Revolta up in 20 seconds. Joxer's up in 3. And Yang uses the ulti. Chiefs, I think, have to disengage. That might be a blessing in disguise because I think they had to leave there.
Yeah, they certainly did. Revolta's about to come up. Yang's still chasing them, however. This is a scary moment for the Chiefs. They need to get a good disengage. Maybe even looking for a re-engage as Radius slows down a little bit.
Does have the flash. Chiefs thinking about a re-engage.
I think INTZ are looking at the Baron as their only hope now.
No TP's up for
Spooks,
Chiefs.
you cannot go into the bottom side of the jungle.
I don't know what he's doing there. Talkers.
Oh, looking for Swiffer.
Maybe caught here. Does snare him up. Spook's going to move back in. They're going to try and take out the Corki. Need to try and kill him, but Spook's going to get locked up there. Not enough shields. Misses the flash, but the dash will get into safety. Macau, though, comes in to clean up. And out to
Yang's
5v4.
on the other side. Radier in trouble.
Yeah, that's bad news, Bears. But a great ult from Swiper's going to keep them in it. Revolta, though, still there, but I think he's just caught out of position now. Swiper putting the team on his back. He takes out Macau in effectively a 1v2, and there's the Fates Call re-engage onto Juxta. Does get Swift for another. This game is just chaotic.
Yeah, it certainly is. They can't do Baron right now, so they're going to recall one more time. They've also sent Swiffer back, so this is a 3v3 in INTZ's base. I don't know if this is what you're looking for, the Chiefs.
They just want mid. Looking for the retake here. Need to be quick, though.
Difficult. Here comes Corki. Once again, Corki, no laughing matter right now. They do get it. What can they get back? INTZ, nothing. 9,000 gold pretty much now the advantage, and now they will turn their sights to the Baron.
Map finally resets. That was a very... Whew, that was a sketchy stretch down there for a second. But
they still don't. They're recalling now. Mass recalls come out. Draw up battle lines one more time, boys. Objective's not the aim of the game. Let's just fight.
Well, I mean, that's been the story of the game so far, but it's certainly working.
If you're a hockey fan, they've dropped the stick. Gloves are now off.
Take the helmet off.
Yeah.
Gentleman's agreement.
Have at it.
Yep, and that's what's been happening. 32 kills in this game, and absolutely no objectives needed. They have 2 inhibs down still. Plenty of pressure pushing in. And they finally got the map back to a point where they can look at Baron if they want it. I think they should just take it.
But the nightmare is, right, is that now everyone's back up. So if they lose Baron, which is hard, but possible.
Yes. Well, Dragon's up too.
No, that's not. It's only number 4, 44 minutes, and I doubt it's going to go for another 12. I hope not. I don't know if my heart can take it for either light-up. It's so funny, as an Oceanic shoutcaster, Brazil's represented us at Worlds, so I just love the team so much over there. So.
All right, here's the Baron start. Yang does have TP. INTZ ready to try and take this.
Here we go.
Teleports in, they'll pull off once more. This is where INTZ lost the last fight, but Revolta finds Ejim. He's going to pop the ulti. Swiper charges up the Poppycopter and gets a Spiderling kicked out towards the base.
Yeah, take that Spiderling, but all of a sudden creeps it in the base, and INTZ have to start up the Baron.
They just have to buy time, though. The Chiefs happy to re-engage if they find the right fight here. They know that the game is theirs. They have double TP as well. Maybe can look to try and end it from this point. Zorot Portal not going to do enough work, and INTZ can't finish this with the Chiefs in plain view.
Yeah, exactly right. But Baron is about to go down. Here we go. Claw goes.
Baits him in, but they get the Brawl multi out of it. Yang, though, is going to look for the re-engage, but Ejim, huge full-man pulverize, finds the engage he wants, and Swiffer's going to take out Jox to Ejim. Now running into the back of the carriers as Revolta has to book it out of the team fight. Macau, though, still looking to fight in as Tokers takes out Alistar. Raider getting chunked out as well. Macau steps back in, but Spook steps forward. Swiper guiding them away. Swiper, huge play there. Chiefs are going to clean it up. The TPs are in, and that's going to be game.
Yeah, one more time. The Oceanic region, I don't know what it is about Brazil, but they come up with a huge upset, and the Chiefs in their one match, it was a must-win, and they do just that.
They certainly do. They reset. They go back to basics. It is a scrappy and bloody game. But it is a Chiefs victory as INTZ upset yet again.
Oh my goodness gracious. Talkers take a bow because you had a fantastic game. But Ejim, the alley god, one more time.
Again, I'm not sure where the Chiefs were on day 1, but I'm glad they've shown up today. Looking much happy with themselves, understandably, after that particular game. And Ejim, just play after play. Where's your L-Star yesterday, mate? It's looking pretty good here on day 2, but again, they go back to Comfort Champions and look a lot better.
And it was a 2v2. They honestly took the 2v2 in what I thought was going to be a losing matchup. You're going against Braum, Lucian, you're going against Macau and Jox, a good duo lane from the Brazilian region, and they come up absolutely massive because of some good jungle ganks. What I want to talk about, however, is the teleport plays. Taking double teleport. It's such a simple theory, right? But you can make up for so many macro mistakes getting caught out of position if you just take those 2 summoner spells. And you saw that when Swiffer was getting caught in the bottom lane, no, Swiper comes in and saves him. Vice versa, able to execute on it as well. Whereas in the mid lane, Tokers, who had to take cleanse and still had a brilliant game, not blaming him at all, but just didn't have the same map presence as what Lissandra did throughout the stages of the game.
And we saw that Swiffer was actually the one that really sealed that gank there in the bottom lane to give Raider and Ejim enough of an edge to sort of keep even and then try and take over the mid game. And Swiper, what a different day for him as far as play goes. Completely unlocked in that game on Poppy.
Yeah, completely agree. He still had a rough laning phase. Hats off to Yang. He just seems to be oppressive in the lane. Like, I don't know what it is. This is one of the games where I would love to sit down with the player cam player viewer of it and just understand what Yang does in his laning phase, because you saw a huge advantage at level 1. Like, how the heck does Gragas do that? One of the worst level 1s in the game. Like, against Poppy, who has a buckler, ranged auto attack into Q should like more than set up that lane, but Yang able to get the edge. So there is individual outplays coming out of INTZ, but that was just crisp team fighting out of the Chiefs that set them up for that victory.
It was, and it was just very, very aggressive. Like, they tower dived in mid lane to try and take the mid tower, constantly looking for re-engage. Didn't need Baron, as it turned up by the end of the game.
Yeah, and you know what? Their shot calling, confusing, but at least decisive. Like, one thing I will say, like, I don't agree with their calls, but I always say this, I would rather a team follow one shot call and make a horrible call but still get something because 5 people are all doing the same thing. Whereas Kalista players, sometimes they're like, we can take Baron whenever we want. I'm not moving from this part of the map. Radiant very much on the same page as the rest of his team, and it looks like Ejim, like, he has taken over a lot of the shot calling. If you watch the team fights, you can see why, because he's a little bit more aggressive than the rest of the team, so he has to do it. But he was just diving in there time and time again, getting the big, I think it was a 4-man at the end of the game, headbutt Pov. What a play.
It's one of Ejim's, I think, more hilarious complaints is that sometimes my team is playing bitches, man, and that's not what he likes. He likes to get in there. Certainly got in there in that particular game, and the aggression, the Alistar. Mwah,
it certainly was. It was so funny because when they were playing without Swiffer, one of the things that they were talking about, they like to play control without Swiffer. And Ejim was like, I don't know what is wrong with you guys, but like, you're just not going in at all. Like, it confuses me. I'm setting up all these beautiful plays. And you see, like, the ability to be able to fly in, the ability for everyone to contribute, and even Spooks' Graves, standout performance compared to what we had yesterday against Revolta, who is a great, great jungler in this tournament. It was just crisp play everywhere.
It certainly was. A big step up there from the Chiefs, and they will pick up their first win, upsetting the Brazilians as INTZ will take a loss. Don't go too far away, though, because the Wildcard tournament for Day 2 is just getting